On Sunday the 19th of August 2018, I went to the Scottish Bus Museum in Lathalmond. Today sees the annual bus rally. I attended the event with my friends in the Barrow Transport Group. We brought our Leyland Tiger 206, and this is so far the furthest north that the group has ventured. This particular event spans over the weekend, on both the Saturday and the Sunday. Because of the sheer amount of attending vehicles, not to mention those on public display at the museum, I ended up spending a full day here. We start proceedings with this WMPTE Volvo Ailsa, and standing next to it on the right are an MCW Metro bus and a Tayside Volvo Ailsa. Standing next to 276 is sister vehicle 263. This vehicle is a 1947 Albion Ventura. It was built by Commonwealth Engineering and hails from Sydney in Australia. CDR 679 is an Alexander Guy Arab. BMS 222 is a Leyland Royal Tiger. Here is a Kelvin Central MCW Metro bus. To the right is a Daimler. Standing next to the car transporter lorry is a Bluebird Bristol MW. Here is a pair of Routemasters. As you can tell by the blinds, these are owned by Stagecoach for use as private charter vehicles, like the one based at Kendal. This Alexander Y-type Leyland Leopard was newly delivered in 1974 and now preserved in Western livery. DSD 936V is a Western Scottish sedan. This is a Leyland Titan PD3, new to Western in 1961. This coach needs no introduction. It's a Volvo B10M. In the far corner on the left is a Leyland Leopard. Here we have a Volvo City bus standing next to an Albion. As seen at Lilyhull earlier this year is this Stagecoach Volvo B56. It was the first new coach to be delivered to the company. It has been rebuilt extensively over the years, and like the Routemasters, it's part of a heritage fleet. Slightly underexposed is this Bristol Low-Decker, one of Stagecoach's earliest double-deck vehicles. Here we have a Blackpool Transport Leyland Atlantean standing next to another low-decker. P270 VPN is a Stagecoach Volvo Olympian. On the left is a Lothian Leyland Leopard. Here are two new kids on the block, a Stagecoach 5 ADL 200 MMC. On the left is a London United Enviro 200 EV. On the right is an Optare Solo, a familiar sight around much of the UK. On the left is an Enviro 300.
Here in the control room there is a coffee stall with a range of different coffees and a range of
SP60 DPK is an Enviro 400 Trident, whilst YX18 LHV is a brand new Volvo B8 Plaxton Panther. No, this isn't a Trident, it's a Volvo B7TL, which just happens to have the same body. CYJ252 is an AEC Regent. ONL15M is an Atkinson's tow truck. This bus is a sedan Pennine. Boasting just 25 seats, it was nearly delivered to Edinburgh in 1963. On the left is an Alexander Royale Volvo Olympian. On the right is the Leyland Atlantean. The museum is big enough to have its own internal service operate. This Sky Arab single deck is about to depart for one such service. The next couple of shots feature more Lothian buses. This single-decker is a Leyland Tiger Cub. The double-decker is a Leyland Titan PD2. This is a Leyland Lynx. YWS 611 is a Leyland Titan PD2A, newly built in 1962. Here is a trio of Leyland Atlanteans. Buses old and new, side by side. SJ18 NFA is a Volvo Right Eclipse Gemini 3. JSC 900E is a Leyland Atlantean. SGD 500 is an AEC Regent. Here we have two Eastern Scottish sedans. To the left of this Western Leopard is another Eastern Scottish sedan. This is an Eastern Scottish Bristol RE. Here are a couple of Leyland Nationals. The London Transport example on the left is dual-doored. Next to this small truck is a Lawson's James Martin bodied Ford Model BB62. It has apparently been in preservation since 1965. Standing next to this tow truck is a Middlesbrough Corporation Leyland Titan PD1 with a Northern Counties body. Both the Bristol Low-Decker and Leyland Leopard you see here were once buses converted into recovery vehicles. DSC 616 is an interesting vehicle. Originally new as an Irvine-bodied coach in 1950, it was given a new double-deck Macy body in 1958. WS 4522 is a 1935 Leyland Tiger. This is a Bristol VR. This is a Northern Scottish Leyland Leopard. The next few shots feature more of the type. This particular Leopard has an Alexander T-type body. In common with the Alexander T-type Leopard we saw a moment ago, this sedan sports the same bodywork. There are also buses that ventured out to places in the local area. We now take a look inside the sheds that were opened up to the general public. Inside are vehicles in varying states of restoration, and some interesting artefacts. This Edinburgh Corporation steamroller dates from the 1930s. This Bristol VRT dates from 1978 and was supplied new to Southdown Motor Services in Brighton. By 1996, the bus fell into stagecoach ownership and it was transferred to Perth. By 1998, the bus was used as a mobile base for the Tartan Army in France. In 1999, the bus also saw use as a bandstand for the Scottish Business Achievement Awards. A selection of mugs, models, uniform and equipment feature here. The ZX Spectrum must have played a vital role in the digitisation of many day-to-day documents that would have been done all by pen and paper in a bus depot by the early 1980s. A superb selection of matchstick models crafted by William Crookston. This is a copy of an original Eastern Coachworks Bristol FS6G double-decker. Some London-themed artefacts are displayed in this cabinet. As a fan of the London Underground, I couldn't help but be fascinated by this map of the Metropolitan, Circle and District lines. This map was published well before the Hammersmith and City and East London lines became their own entity on the tube map. Tramcar 23 is a horse-drawn vehicle and probably the only survivor of the original Edinburgh Street Tramway, which opened in 1871 but closed in 1904. SS7501 is a Bedford OB and has dual vista coachwork. model of the Forth Rail Bridge. Another former London tube map. As you can probably make out, this one dates from the 1970s, with Strand listed for closure before it became today's Charing Cross on the Bakerloo and Northern lines. After 1975, the Moorgate to Drayton Park section became part of British Rail. Incidentally, the East London line did not gain its own identity on the map until the 1980s, and was part of a Metropolitan line during this era. The Hammersmith and City line, also part of the Met, didn't become its own line until 1993. In this boggy part of the museum, we have a Volvo B10, standing next to a Renault minibus. BRS 37 is a wartime Daimler, which formerly worked in Aberdeen. This is an Alexander Royale Volvo Olympian. It dates from 1998. Another indoor viewing area with a few more buses and a number of trade stalls. 200 video clips later, and this is the final shot of the day. Overall, the weather largely behaved itself and we had an enjoyable day here. I would certainly recommend a visit to the museum, especially on a day like today, where there is plenty to see and do. If you liked this video and would like to stay up to date, please subscribe and turn on notifications. As always, thank you for watching and take care.